Hello, Aurora lovers. This is DaleBoan from DaleBoan Imaging, and this is Aurora Hunting 101. This is episode 36, a review of the AuroraForecast.com website. AuroraForecast.com is a site that many new Aurora hunters stumble upon just by Googling Aurora and forecast. A lot of people end up there. And I have some concerns about it, so I thought it would be worth doing a review. Let's take a look. The AuroraForecast.com website, I don't think they have an app. They might have an app. If they do, it looks exactly like this. But it has a nice graph with the forecast of the activity. Right now it says low, 3, and below that they do have the NOAA 30-minute Aurora forecast. If you click on that, it goes straight to the NOAA website, so that's nice. And then it's got the upcoming days. So it essentially has a 3-day forecast here as well. And then below that is a possibility of an Aurora hunting tour in Yellowknife. Now, all of that is fine. If you're really familiar with KP, you know KP goes from 0 to 9. So this is not, what they're showing is not a KP scale. And that's what everybody uses for when they're talking about Aurora and Aurora forecasts, is the KP value. This seems to be something that they've made up, and it seems to be specifically oriented towards high latitude observing, for example, Yellowknife or Whitehorse or Fairbanks, Alaska, Churchill, those areas that are right in the Aurora zone. This is probably this is probably a reasonable prediction for it. It doesn't seem to take daylight into account. I see it really high during the summer months and things like that. But in general, I think this is, certainly with a description, is probably reasonable for those areas that are right in the active Aurora region, where they're going to see Aurora with almost no, with very weak activity, with weak KP values. An example of that is this one. Last time I refreshed, it said, it says 3. If you go to spaceweather.com, it's showing KP 1-. So this often results in internet shouting matches where someone is saying, my app says it's going to be KP 3, or more often KP 8 or 9, and the other person says, well, my app says KP 2. And those, and on Facebook or other places, you see people arguing because their apps say completely different things. And it's because this has their own custom scale that they seem to have made up for that. I suspect for Yellowknife, because they always have this Yellowknife tour. Or this one says the Yukon, so that might be Whitehorse. Well, anyway. So mainly, for those two reasons, I don't recommend that people use this. One, it's not standard, and it's not going to be consistent with any other source of information. And two, it seems to be optimized for those regions where there's almost always Aurora activity. The fact that it's KP 1, or actually a little earlier it was KP 0, and it's still a 3. It does, by the time KP gets up to 2 or 3, this dial is usually up into the 7s, 8s. So that can give the impression that there's going to be really active auroras in areas further south or closer to the equator if you're in the southern hemisphere, when really it's not going to happen. So I think it can be misleading for a lot of people. Yes, it will go up and down. just like KP will go up and down as the Aurora strength increases and decreases, but it's just not consistent with anything else. So, you know, to avoid arguments and to not be misled on the actual predicted strength, I recommend not using that. This, like if you want to go here to get this NOAA 30-minute forecast for the auroras, that's a nice convenient place to do it. Spaceweather.com is another place to get that, or I now just, well, I've got it bookmarked, but I will search for NOAA 30-minute forecast, and that's what will come up. There isn't, as I say, it's very simple and straightforward. There isn't a whole lot of confusion there, but yeah, I don't recommend using it. With that, please check out episode 37, What is the Space Weather Prediction Center's Enthusiast Dashboard? It's a good place to find the raw NOAA information, so let's look at that next week. With that, I'm wishing you clear skies and happy hunting.